What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Nog, and we are here, of course, with the president of Mar-a-Lago of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
Doing well. We're just trying to get by in the Sleepy Joe, disgraceful America. It's so sad what he's done.
Well, today is National Compliment Day. So I'd like to start the podcast by saying you look very well today. And I like your hat, and your shirt really brings out your eyes. It's National
Excuse me.
Compliment Day.
Excuse me. Well, you know what? You're doing good at not interrupting me until right then. So how about that for a compliment? You were almost doing your job properly. Congratulations, tech stuff.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take that compliment. Now, Mr. President, Mar-a-Lago is where you reside in Florida. And I just want to ask you if there's any truth to this, because there is video of this. You walked in on a brunch in Mar-a-Lago. Is this
Oh, I
correct?
thought you were going to say something. Okay, yes, a brunch. Yes. Walked in
and
on a brunch.
and did you ask for the people to start clapping and give you a round of applause when you walked in?
So what are you asking, if I'm like low energy Jeb Bush?
I'm asking you if you requested people to clap for you on your entrance into the brunch.
Oh no, and excuse me, that's a rude question, because as many people know, that's exactly what a low energy Jeb did to a crowd when they wouldn't clap for him at a speech. He said, please clap. And everybody made fun of him, and his campaign was dead like a dog after that point. But no, I don't. When I walk into Mar-a-Lago, I have to tell, excuse me, I have to tell them, please stop clapping. I have to talk. Too much applause. Too much. So no, it's the total opposite. The lying, disgusting fake news media, which apparently the tech stuff people are joining. Which is sad to see. We always thought at least the tech stuff people were loyal, but now it seems you're joining the fake news. No, it was too much applause. It was, please stop. I have to talk. I have strong words to say, and if you keep clapping, I can't say them.
So you're saying that the video is doctored?
I don't know where the video went to school, but I know that it's fake.
So it's a fake video. Whoever did this must work for uh, some movie franchise, because the video looks real of you requesting people to clap for you.
Uh, they call it they call it a deep fake. You ever heard this term, deep fake?
I've heard it before.
It's also what we call Big Gay Mike Pence's 10-inch dildo, a deep fake that he uses on himself for strong prayer. But no, it's called a deep fake, and that might be what it was. I haven't looked at it, but I would assume, because that never happened. It never happened, so I would assume it was, Deepak Chopra or a deep fake.
Deepak or deep fake?
Could have been Tupac. A lot of people are saying he might be alive. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think it was totally made up.
Okay. I okay. So I guess the video is whoever did it is a deep fake, and we'll just have
But
to move on.
Hollywood, except for great people like John Voight and Vince Vaughn and Scott Baio, Kevin Sorbo, the real conservative talent. Other than them, all of Hollywood, they have talent, they have skills, they have all the equipment and the money. They are very out to get me. So it wouldn't surprise me if you had people from Marvel teaming up with people from, some other place and doing, let's get him, let's get Sir. They call me Sir, but they'd be saying, let's get Sir. And, they're not going to get me because we have this podcast where we can speak strong truth. But in other places that are stupid and don't have strong podcasts, they probably believe it. And it's too bad for them to be so stupid.
Well, you constantly talk about the election and how there was a miscount of votes for the election. Um, I wanted to ask you about the election because a judge has approved a special grand jury in an election probe with you interfering with the election in Georgia. And I want to know your thoughts on this because every single thing we've read about election is that, um, phony votes, dead people voted, they didn't count the right amount of votes. But this is the first piece of news that has come out where it's against you about voting. It's not for you and saying that they messed up. It's actually saying that you messed with it. What are your thoughts on you interfering with the election in Georgia?
Well, you have radical left people in Atlanta who want to come after your president. Probably African American, wouldn't surprise me if they were African American. But remember, I had a strong conversation with Ben Roethlisberger on the phone, and I told him to find some votes because we had heard and it's called good intelligence. Okay, I have great intelligence, by the way, but we call it good intel. And I said, just find votes, find the amount of votes that will give me the state. And he didn't even call me sir when he said no. And I think that should be a crime. Forget all the other crimes. He didn't even call me sir. And he was disrespectful and disgraceful and disgusting. And normally I like triple D's, but in this case it was not so good. And now they want to cover it up. They're doing the cover up, not us. It's called transparency. Okay. We want
Hmm.
full transparency. Jeffrey Tambor dressed as a woman. That's what we want. We want full transparency. And what they're doing is the opposite of transparency. They're doing
Opaque.
step parency, where you don't know your real parents. They're doing step parency, which is the opposite of transparency, which is when you see everything very strongly and clearly. So we're gonna fight, and it's a total, the whatever they're doing in Georgia. What a stupid state, and they're totally making up fake things. And all the people there know, all the people know we won. We won strongly. We won honestly. Most importantly, we won with great honesty.
I think specifically they're talking about Fulton County. Does that ring a bell?
I think that's where like Tyler Perry Studios are. So it wouldn't surprise me if he made the fake video. Medea hates Trump, probably his next movie. Hello. Remember that? He always says that. Doesn't even know how to say hello. How stupid is that?
I'd love to see a movie poster. If anyone can create a Medea hates Trump movie poster, please. So, you think there is no legitimacy to this interference on your part in Georgia, and they're just trying to spread some fake news to drag your name through the mud?
Look, it's fake. It's called fake. It's called step parency. And we're not going to let them get away with it. We're not going to, we're going to get somebody in there instead of Ben Roethlisberger. We're going to get a pro honesty Secretary of State to count strong Trump ballots in 2024. If I run, we don't know if I'm running yet.
Right. You don't know. Speaking of possibly running, a poll came out I read on Yahoo that you lead for the Republican
You know what
Party.
I always, you ever drink Yahoo? Remember they'd have those commercials, Yahoo,
Yoo-hoo,
and it was,
Yoo-hoo, one of my favorite drinks. Yeah.
excuse me,
Yes.
excuse me.
Yes.
They would have the drink Yahoo, and it would be like it's got vitamins and minerals, and it was like chocolate water. You know, it was a weird drink, but I liked it a lot.
I love it.
It wasn't as heavy as chocolate milk, which was sad because Yahoo was probably against our strong dairy farmers, but it was a nice beverage. It was just like you drank one time I don't mean to give away a Fred Trump tradition, but when I was a teenager, he used to, like sewer water will sometimes look like Yahoo, like in the puddle, like a puddle. He would say, Donald, sir, drink this Yahoo. And I would drink it down fast. And then he'd scoop up the sewer, like the puddle disgusting water and say to his maid's child would show up, and little Pablo, he was 7 years old, and the great Fred Trump would say, Pablo, do you like Yahoo? And he'd hand him a Yahoo, and he'd spit it out, and then he'd say to the mother, Rosalita, if Pablo doesn't finish that Yoo-hoo that I was so generous to give him, I will fire your ass like a dog. And then we just watch little Pablo, 7 years old, drinking a full 16 ounces of sewer puddle water. And it was so fun, so much fun. Yahoo. And that's what we would say after he would finish it and pass out and have to get taken to the emergency room. We'd go, Yahoo. He's going to need vitamins and minerals, Dad. And then we laughed and went and had sex with hookers.
Wow. Great Fred Trump, let me tell you.
I mean, these people who are not doing the Patreon, and I've seen the signups going up. It's about time. It's about
Yes,
time people
they are going
started
up for
showing
sure.
patriotism. But what's beautiful about that is I just gave you, and I never do this, I just gave them a free Fred Trump traditions are one of the great things about the Patreon. And they just got the Yahoo tradition.
Oh my gosh. That was an excellent tradition. I'm a fan of is that Tiffany?
Yeah, Tiffany is not too happy.
Did you lock her out of the house?
Well, no, I said we ordered McDonald's tonight, as we do, and then when I don't finish the fish fillet sandwich, I throw the scraps out the window, and I don't think she can reach it. So I think that was her saying, "I can't reach it, sir."
That's so unfortunate. I am a huge fan of Yahoo, so thank God the great Fred Trump did
Who's
not
that?
trick me. Yahoo.
Oh, well, no, it's a great beverage, great American beverage. And
It's,
Pablo, rest in peace. He
didn't make it.
well, after the 9th time Fred Trump did that, I guess little Pablo, he just couldn't take all the vitamins and minerals in Yahoo. And actually I gave the eulogy at Pablo's funeral, and I left a real Yahoo in his, like, I took a real bottle of Yahoo from the grocery store and put it in his casket so he could have the real thing when he's possibly in hell, because his mother may not have been a legal immigrant, and I don't think God likes illegal immigrants. So hopefully Pablo is down there with John McCain and Colin Powell.
You buried him with a Yahoo.
And the great Fred Trump chuckled.
Do you remember anything about the eulogy?
No, well, I got up. Obviously, Pablo's family came in we had them all deported right away after, but we actually had immigration officials at the cemetery. And so as I spoke, I just, first I started to show respect. I spoke in a fake Spanish. So I went, Pablo. And there were tears and some confusion. I'm getting emotional now. There was some tears and some confusion. And then I said, let me translate for all of you. Pablo was a nice kid. He always tried to make his mother happy by drinking the Fred Trump Yahoo beverages. And, obviously, if he was stronger, he might have been able to drink more of them, but he wasn't because he was 9 years old. And well, he was 9 when he died. He obviously was drinking them for a few years. But he was a nice. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. But he was a nice kid. But unfortunately, he wasn't tough enough for the Fred Trump tradition. So, and I said, and in conclusion, Pablo. So it was a very powerful. And then I gave the signal to the immigration officials, and they roughed up Pablo's mom at the cemetery. So that was unfortunate. A few of the agents. Pablo's mom had sort of a decent rack on her, so that I think the immigration officials sort of may have felt her up for a few minutes before throwing her in the van. But from what I heard, they made it back to Guatemala and were executed by a gang there. So, just as a lesson, just remember Yahoo has vitamins and minerals, and it's a tasty beverage. Maybe they
Hopefully
could sponsor that. Maybe they could sponsor the show. They might be interested in strong sponsorship.
well, after that story, definitely.
And to our Spanish listeners, Yahoo.
Uh,
You didn't know I could speak Spanish, did you, Tech?
I did not.
Well, you know what? You gotta know. You gotta know the language of your enemy. So when they're cleaning your bathrooms, they're not talking trash behind your back.
Just about it. You took the Rams over the Bucks, so you didn't bet with your boy Tom Brady.
You got friends and you have business, right? Tech stuff.
I understand.
So sometimes you got to separate. And I just, some people will rub something for luck. I'll sometimes go into Mike Pence's office and see what's the first thing that comes out of this guy's mouth. And he just said, I'd like to get rammed by a staff. And I said, sounds like I should bet the Rams. So it was nothing personal against Tom Brady. It was they call him a goat. They call him a goat. And I hear that's a good thing. So he's doing okay. He's going to be fine. But Mike Pence proved to be very lucky. He just said, I want to, and then he said, the other thing he said, I love that Buffalo Bill. And it turned out he was watching Silence of the Lambs. But, that, of course, I went with Josh Allen, who was, by the way, had a phenomenal game. But,
Awesome game.
stolen. What a shock. What a shock that the African-American quarterback stole it from a strong, powerful American athlete like Josh Allen.
Gabriel Davis. I mean, that was a record-setting performance that's just going to be mentioned and not highlighted in the future. But what a great game that was. And unfortunately, I'm sorry you lost that parlay. I wanted to ask you the games for this weekend. I'd like to hear your predictions. Chiefs versus Bengals. It's your boy Joe Burrow versus Mahomes. Who are you picking in that game?
Cincinnati is a strong conservative city. Joe Burrows is obviously a great talent, very powerful white as well. So I'm going with Joe Burrows and the Cincinnati Bugles, which is also a chip, by the way. Yeah, they're not great chips, but they're a pretty good football team. And we're gonna ride the Pence train because he'd like a train ridden on him. We're gonna go with the Rams versus the Bugles.
Wow.
Cincinnati versus Los Angeles, even though I think Mike Pence, it's a tough one for Mike Pence. On one side you have the Rams, and the other one you have San Francisco. And Mike Pence is just, in a real devil's triangle when it comes to the NFC. So we'll pray strongly for big gay Mike Pence.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to speak to you about a former colleague of yours, worked for you, Rudy Giuliani. I don't know if you saw this on social media. He is now selling autographed 9/11 t-shirts for $911. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, well, the son of a bitch stole my idea. That was, I said to him I was going to do that. I was also selling a blow up dolls of Ivanka that I was going to sell on June 9th. Do you know how much they were going to cost when we put them on sale June 9th?
$69.
Correct, because 6/9 is June 9th. Never forget.
That's a great business plan. Are you still going to go forward with that plan?
Well, I've used most of the prototypes up, so I don't know if we test. Doing it's called fatherly testing.
I understand.
So they couldn't, because they couldn't really withstand my strength. So they have to go. I don't know if they'll be ready because they have to go back to the factory in China because once I got on it for the 9th time in a night, it just deflated. It deflated. And I said, who's going to want that? Who's going to want that? So we'll see. But no, Rudy Giuliani, I told him he should charge $91.10. I said, excuse me, if I was doing it, they'd pay, $911,000, maybe even me. And with you should be charging $9.11. Nobody, you have shit running down your forehead. You're a total failure. So just be happy you get anything. But I know he said, sir, I'm going to charge $911. So, if if you're a fan of 9/11, if you sort of want to show your support. Well, no, if you want to show, excuse me, if you want to show your support for 9/11, like, hey, go 9/11, we got you. You buy a t-shirt, he autographs it, maybe you frame it, maybe you do whatever you want with it. Maybe who knows? But Rudy's a stupid person.
Now, Mr. President, you mentioned before lots of people coming on the Patreon this past few weeks, very strong episodes. Everyone should get involved, even just signing up for the $5 level, checking out, binging all the bonus episodes. Go to patreon.com/MPGA. Live episodes for the perfect 10 level. I mean, choose whatever level is good for you. But if you want to hear the great Fred Trump traditions that you heard, a sneak peek of one of them today, which I can't believe you gave out a Fred Trump tradition in a regular episode. Usually you save those for the Patreon episode. So everyone should feel blessed today and join
Yahoo.
up. And you can hear other great Fred Trump traditions. It's patreon.com/MPGA. Also, leave a review on iTunes. The reviews have been coming in, more subscribers on the YouTube page. We appreciate all of that and continue to do that as well. So thank you very much. Patreon.com/MPGA. Mr. President, I wanted to also ask you, we've spoken about crypto on here. We've had Anthony Scaramucci on here talk about crypto a little bit with us, and there is new crypto out.
Excuse me, Epi winner.
Yes. Trumpcoin is new crypto, and your son Eric Trump has said that the family will take. Don't you count Eric Trump as one of your sons? I thought it's Daniel. You don't count as one of your sons. And Bartholomew.
Well, we got Ivanka, and trust me, she is all woman. There's no sun there. But there's sometimes when I take a look, I do see a full moon.
Eric Trump said that the family is going to take legal action, excuse me, against Trumpcoin. Do you agree with that, or do you like your name being thrown out there with crypto? Because I'm sure it's worth a lot of money.
Crypto is stupid. I will
Okay.
say this. I think crypto, I like dollars. It's called money. It's called money. It's not called uh, tokens, non-funny tokens. It's called money. It's called wealth. It's called great wealth. And crypto is something that I think rich people are tricking stupid people into believing it's something. So I don't want a Trump coin. The only Trump coin I want is when they obviously put me on the quarter. Then they take George Washington off and put Trump on the quarter. I'll take that. That's a Trump coin. I would powerfully, excuse me, I would accept it. I would say, okay, but not this crypto. Crypto is stupid.
Okay. So your family will take legal action against the Trump coin.
As soon as somebody from my family, hears about it, they're going to probably take legal action.
Well, we're going from one son of yours to another son, Donald Trump Jr. I don't know if you saw his strange rant on social media about Sleepy Joe and
Joe Biden, China.
yes, about Joe Biden and China.
How
What are your
embarrassing! How embarrassing is that?
He should be taken off Twitter, not you.
Oh, I appreciate. Okay, well, okay. 1 point for tech stuff. Now only 30 down this episode. Uh, no, I think Don Jr. is. Yeah, there's something wrong there. I'm convinced he's not mine. I think Ivana. I think she might have had an affair with a filthy, stupid raccoon in our backyard. And that's why she got this short, bearded, chinless piece of shit. There's something wrong with him, and hopefully he gets help. He's almost like he's like the Hunter Biden, but not cool. And Hunter Biden's a disgusting person, but at least he's got a little rock star swagger. Don Jr. is like, the weak version of that. It's so sad.
You have a lot of money in your family. I'm sure your son has a nice amount of wealth as well. Don't you have people who would vet or look at what you're putting up on social media and approve it, or at
No, that's,
least
excuse me, radical left tech stuff. That's called cancel culture, and we don't do cancel culture.
not cancel culture, but just so you're related to him. You don't want him looking. You don't think that not say guilty by association, but you don't think it looks poorly on you when your son does a foolish,
No,
a
he's
possible drug-induced rant?
he's guilfoyle by association, which is even worse. Uh, Look, you have to have sympathy. I did have sex with, I did have sex with his fiance, not only before they were engaged, but yesterday as well. So that might explain why he was doing weird videos. Because, I had texted him and said, I just did the gargoyle in the butt, and yeah, that might have made him. I don't know. That might have made him upset. You have to. It's called sympathy. It's called sympathy tech stuff. And when you tell your son that you banged his his crazy fiance in the butt, he might, do some strong crack. Because
So
I did her crack, and that forces Don Jr. into doing crack. It's called the circle of crack. Look up the Lion King. It's right there.
now I wanted to. There's been a lot of celebrity deaths recently, and I wanted to ask you if you knew any of these people, what your thoughts were on any of them, if you had any strong thoughts. Betty White was the beginning of this month, but this past, I'd say, 10 days, we lost three people: Meatloaf, Bob Saget, Louis Anderson. Did you have any interactions with these people? Did you know these people at all?
I
Any
was,
stories?
as you probably know, I was never a fan of jazz music. Way too many blacks, but Louis Anderson was one of the greats. He was the way he played that trumpet, and he had that voice. Remember that voice? That like almost like, like a black Yoda,
Okay.
like a black jazz playing Yoda, like the force is with you. And so we respect and miss Louis Anderson. We talked, I think, last week about Bob Saget because Mike Pence came running in and knocked over the
Oh, that's
TV.
right. Yes.
But and the other one was somebody
Meatloaf.
beef stroganoff was on the Celebrity Apprentice, by the way. He was on the Celebrity Apprentice. Beef Welling. I remember he would come in and I'd say, "Hello, Beef Wellington." And he would say, "Hello, sir." And he would belt out that big singing voice. And I'd say, "Ah, you know what, Prime Rib? That is one of the great. You got some talent there. You got some talent." So Hamburglar will be missed. He was a real talent. He was a nice guy on the Celebrity Apprentice. Nobody had ever actually heard of him. I'd heard of him, but no, most people didn't know who he was. And then I put him on Celebrity Apprentice, and everybody was like, who the hell is this talented guy?" And I said, "Well, that's me. But the guy next to me is a strong and talented guy we like to call roast beef." So
What do you
I
think of
mean,
what do you think of roast beef in Fight Club?
he had very big breasts. He had big breasts. I almost, I would have. I tell you what, if I had not seen his face, I would have said, "You know what? Yeah, you know what, filet mignon, get over here. I'm gonna Trump titty fuck you." But no, he will be missed. We will miss Ribeye and all the talent that he brought to the table. And I hope his family, Sliders, we call the family Sliders. I hope they're okay. And so we'll miss Bob Saget, the great jazz player, Louis Anderson, and Brisket.
I knew you got one more meat in you.
Mike, he's talking about actual meat. Calm down, Mike.
There's one last story I wanted to talk to. I think it happened last week. Mitch McConnell, an ally of yours.
No, actually,
No,
not
not
an
anymore.
ally.
Not anymore.
Ally McBeal. He is no ally.
Well, did you hear what he said? Everyone thinks he's a racist, man, but he basically confirmed it by saying African Americans are not American. What are your thoughts on this comment?
Okay, well, what he said, which I actually agree with, even though I can agree with somebody who I think is a turtle piece of shit, and eh, but what he said was, "Well, African Americans vote just like Americans," or he said something like that. And what was wrong with that? I don't see what was wrong with that. He was simply saying African Americans are just like Americans. Just the same way I sometimes will say, I think women can vote just like human beings can vote, and the Latinos have the right to vote just like other members of the animal kingdom, and you can, if you're an Asian, you can get in the voting booth just like the other machines in the voting booth. We let the machines in, so let's let the Asians in too. Yeah, they can stand there. So I think what Mitch said, although Mitch is a turtle, triple chinned, disloyal, worthless piece of shit, I'll defend him as not racist, because if what he said is racist, all of a sudden, what's next? The left starts saying, "Sir, when you scream the N word at that teenager, that was racist." And I go, "Okay, so now so now everything is racist." Okay. So, when I, scream the N word while watching a basketball game, oh, sir, that's racist. Okay, well, now we're doing cancel culture. So everything is racist. When the great Fred Trump went to a Klan meeting, but didn't join, by the way, went to a Klan meeting. Oh, that was racist. So we're canceling everything. We're canceling everything. And it's a total disgrace. So Mitch is a lot of things, most of them very bad. Racist? No.
Well, thank you
He stood by the Confederate flag. That's racist. Okay, so now everything's racist. He attended a lynching when he was a teen. Okay, so that's racist, I guess. Oh, that's right. Oh, okay, so everything's racist.
There are pictures of him in white hoods. Oh, that's racist too.
Oh no, that would be racist.
Okay, well, I'm glad we now we know where the line is. So that's perfect. Thank you for clearing up all that information about Mitch McConnell, Mr. President.
We
Thank you
call
so
him
much.
bitch. We
Yes.
call him bitch McConnell.
do do we or you?
I speak with a powerful we.
Okay.
Nintendo Wii, by the way. You ever play that?
Yeah, I got into it when it first came out, Rock Band, but then yeah. You?
Well,
Guitar Hero, I meant Guitar Hero.
I once, that's funny you bring up Guitar Hero because I used to play a little, if I can get a little racy with our audience, I used to play a game with Wii and Melatonin where I'd take the Wii controller and sort of, do like a Bill Clinton sort of cigar situation with Melatonin. But Melatonin was so, let's be nice, experienced in Europe that she said, Donald, you need to give me Guitar Hero. So we got the Guitar Hero adapter. And that thing was, like 2.5 feet long and it gets kind of wide at the guitar. And you should have seen Melatonin. She just took it in stride. And
Abracadabra.
so she was what?
It disappeared.
No, it didn't. She's not, there was still 2 to 3 inches of the guitar still sitting outside. So no, she's a respectable woman. The most impressive thing though is we went the fat end first. That was what's so impressive. So you could still tune the guitar
Still
while
played a little bit.
while giving her a strong Guitar Hero pleasure.
Mr. President, thank you so much for joining us week in and week out. Bonus episodes and everything. Just
By the way,
spreading
she
your
could play.
knowledge.
Here's the real talent. She could actually keep up with the songs. Slow ride, down, 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 down. Take it easy, down, 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 down.
Mr. President, like I said, thank you so much, and have a great week. I just want to plug a few shows coming up, Mr. President. If you go to comedycraftbeer.com, I'll be at the Four Seasons by the Lake in Stafford Springs, Connecticut on February 10th at 7 p.m.
Is that near Four Seasons Total Landscaping where Rudy Giuliani had a press conference?
Possibly. I don't know. I've never been there before. And Waters Edge Resort in West Brown, I think it is, Connecticut. And that's at 7:30 p.m. You get all the tickets at comedycraftbeer.com, and that's February 10th and 11th. February 12th, I'll be at Fairfield Comedy Club in Fairfield, Connecticut at 7 p.m. fairfieldcomedyclub.com for tickets. And I'll be in Atlantic City at the Borgata, and that will be on Super Bowl Sunday, February 13th, and Valentine's Day, February 14th at 7 p.m. You can go to the Borgata website and get tickets there. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. It's JL, not the president. I'm at the Chicago Improv this week. You know that because I've been saying it every week. Thursday, 7 p.m. God help you. If you're anywhere near Chicago, come to the goddamn show. I am doing a train tour of America. I am taking the train from New York to Chicago and then from Chicago to LA. I will be filming so much Instagram and YouTube content in the next 3 weeks. There will be Mike Pence runs a train on America. There will be Dave Chappelle attacks trains Americans. There will be Don Jr. Doing rails. So there may be a lot of thematic things from my rooms on Amtrak going across this country. And then when I get to California, San Jose Improv, February 2nd for Northern California, Flappers in Burbank, February 6th for all you Southern California folks. And then Wise Guys just outside of Salt Lake City on February 10th. And my Billions date, February 20th. You can see my episode of Billions on Showtime. Then by then I may have an announcement on my special, and then I'm having knee surgery. So a chock full next month and a half. So that's it. If you're still listening, thank you. That's all my important stuff. And I'll be back in Boston in July. So whoop-de-doo, only a mere 6 months away. Look at that. So, but Boston came out strong. So see you this summer. But that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. God help us all.